Alright, Shalom, Shalom.
It's the brother Kadash.
The brother Kana.
I'm going to start off by giving all praises to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash.
Double honors to the apostles and the elders. Peace, blessings, and honors to all the brothers in this truth. You know, hold the faith, keep the faith to the end. Today camp, which is just very edifying, is going to be called the scattered Israelites. Why is that important? Because a lot of times when brothers come in the truth, some of the scriptures you will read, it'll seem like, just like for example, neither Jew nor Greek. You would be like, okay, well the Greeks could be saved, but not understanding that those Greeks are really Israelites. Israelites that's been scattered amongst all nations. So I always like to say it's not that all nations could be saved. It's that Israelites were scattered in all nations, and the Israelites will be saved from all nations, whether they've been scattered. So we finna just go through pretty much and break down some precepts of how that is, you know. So in all these different nations, you have Israelites. It says that we're like the sands of the sea. All over the world, you have Israelites scattered, and that's been, you know, married to these other nations, that they start looking like these other nations, you know. Originally, all the tribes kind of look similar. We kind of look like our Lord. But throughout time, you go with the Native Americans, the Mexicans, you know, they were conquered by the Spaniards. They came over here, started popping the women. And then in reverse, you know, the Mexicans start popping their women. And then you know what look at all the NBA players. Look at Blake Griffin, you know. We always use Blake Griffin as an example. We start popping their women, our babies start looking lighter.
I was just gonna say, look at Klay Thompson. See another example.
Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, throughout the years. So imagine Steph Curry had an Edomite white woman and had a baby with, look at Drake. And then look at his son, because he had her by a so-called looking white woman. You know, so because of that, we started to look different. We started to look like the other nations because of the dominant mixing, you know. So they a majority here, so we've been popping a lot of, and that goes through all time. And then you have the wheat and the tares. You got Edomite, which we call them chocolate Edomites, where Edomites that popped our woman, especially during slavery and during that time, and then some of the babies, they might look chocolate, but they really Edomites. You see what I'm saying? Because the seed goes by the father. The nation determines what nation you are, that goes by the father. You know, look at Eminem. You can't tell me that Eminem not an Israelite. He looked like a so-called white man, but we can read the spirit. That's why the scriptures say his spirit bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of Israel. So we can discern, when you a spiritual man, you come into this truth and you can discern, and you're grounded in this truth. You can kind of discern if somebody has the spirit of an Israelite. You can look at him and say, look, he looked like another nation, but look at his spirit. Like we had a guy come up here, and probably like our last camp,
2 weeks ago.
Two camps ago, and we had a guy come up here, and he looked just like an Edomite, but he said that his father was Catholic. We know that the Native Americans and Hispanics, they had to convert to being Catholics. So he could be Spanish or Native American, but he said that his mother was Native American. So maybe his father could be Native American, you know? And he was, and we could read the spirit on him. We didn't judge him by his outly appearance. We read the spirit on him like, damn, he kind of got an Israelite spirit, you know? He could feel it. He said, look, they took down his people. He said they gonna pay for what they did. Then I had a dude come on a comment board like, bro. He was like coons. He was like coons. He's like coons. That's a cracker. He called us coons because we was talking to him, dealing with him, and then he was like, that's a cracker. And I was like, how do you know, just based off his outly appearance? You're just going to call him that basically off his outly appearance. But we can't get mad because the Lord put the spirit on the 2/3. The 2/3 are going to fight. They're going to do that. They're going to go through that. So you just got to let the 2/3 be what the 2/3 is, you know. And the elect going to do what the elect do, which is do this work. This is our first love right here. This comes first before everything else, because everything else is vain. Breaking down this truth is what the Lord told us to do. We got to keep this fight to the end, you know. Here, let me pull a quick precept that I like to go with keeping this fight to the end. This is 2 Timothy 4, right? 2 Timothy 4, verse 6, right? So it says, for I am now ready to be offered, and at the time of my departure is at hand. I have fought a good fight. So when it's time for you to go and it's over with, which we know that this world finna be completely destroy, and the elect is going to be saved, and we're going to get victory over death. But some of the apostles, they had to go through death, right? He says, I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. And that's what you want to be able to, through whatever happens, no matter what happens, no matter whatever goes down, you want to be like, look, man, I have kept the faith. It says, he said, I have fought a good fight. You want to go down fighting a good fight in this truth, man. You want to be like the apostles today. You want to be like, man, I was in that thing 30 years, 35 years. I put up a good fight. I didn't just come in and I seen brothers come in a couple months, they done. You want to put up a good fight. You know, you want to say, look, I fought a good fight. I have finished my course. You don't want to start the course and then 50% way, 20% through the course, you kind of drop out. You want to finish the course, man, and pray that the Lord gives you a passing grade, right?
It's not going to always be easy.
It ain't going to be easy at all.
Yeah.
It says, I have kept the faith. You want to keep the faith to the end, you got to understand that this ain't going to be easy at all. All brothers got demons trying to pull them. All of women got demons on them, trying to pull them away from the truth. Any type of way they get. You know, things in the world, that's the affliction, but that's why you get the reward. You got to always look at the reward that we're going to get because of what we're going to get.
And it kind of seems like the more and more you get into this, the more and more, like, I don't know, kind of like affliction try to pull you away from it.
Yeah, break it down because
Real.
Because those demons gonna attack you. You know, that's you getting tested by the Lord. You got to read the book of Job. You know, Job was tested, but Job stood strong. You want to have the faith of Job. You want to have the faith of Abraham. You want to have the faith of the 7 brothers in 2 Maccabees 7. The faith of Eleazar in 2 Maccabees 6. You want to have the faith of Judas Maccabees, of his father Mattathias. You want to have the faith that's why this Bible is here. It says this is the comforter, Lord. This is what comforts us. When we going through things in the world and we kind of got to get an understanding of it, we get in the Bible and then we can break it down. And then it gives us that faith. It relits our candle, like Matthew 25 says. This is our comforter, man. Just like everything the Lord went through symbolized everything we going to have to go through. He had to bear his cross. We're going to have to bear our cross. He had traitors in his camp. Judas, Iscariot. We're going to have traitors and agents come after us. You know? He got crucified. It says that some of us are going to be crucified. But if not, just like the Lord's image got crucified, our image and our worldly image is going to get crucified today. Everything the Lord went through, the elect going to have to go through, but that's why we're going to be with the Lord. You know, it says they followed him, they followed the Lamb wherever he went, the elect. That means we follow whatever the Lord do, we follow. We're like many versions of the Lord because he's more exalted than us because he's the Lord. He inherit all things, but we're joint heirs to the kingdom with him. Everything he do, any way that he is, we aspire to be that way. We follow the Lamb wherever he go. You know, and this was from the beginning before the earth was even made, you know. So now these same spirits are back today still doing the same thing, following the Lord. But we gonna have it all, just like the Lord gonna have it all. That's the word. You want to keep the faith, put up a good fight. But back to the topic though, this is Zephaniah 3, just to get us back on topic. Zephaniah 3 verse 19. It says, behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that houteth, and gather her that was driven out. The her is talking about the whole nation of Israel, because we're like a wife unto the Lord. He's like a husband. He plays like a husband for us. He's the head of us. He protects, he provides, he leads. And we're like, as a whole nation, even though the elect is man, the Lord deals with man, but as a nation, the nation of Israel is like a wife to the Lord. So no, there ain't no queen worship shit in heaven where the Lord got a wife. The Lord's wife is Israel. That's a body. Right? Now it says, it gathered her out that was driven out. I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. The Lord said he gonna get us praise and fame in every land. All we gotta do is wait. We ain't gotta go out there and get the praise and the fame right now by ourselves. We trying to get a rap career, we shooting music videos, trying to get famous. We ain't gotta do that. All we gotta do is what the Lord told us to do, and the Lord said he gonna get us praise and fame in every land. Not us. We ain't gonna do it ourselves. The Lord said he gonna get it. Why? Because when it's known who the elect is, everybody gonna come to us like we the celebrity, the top celebrities of the earth. Everybody gonna be like, damn, they was the elect. Damn, they got the power. Then they finna get the kingdom. We want to come get. It says our gates should be open continuously. Revelations 21, Isaiah 60, because all the other nations gonna bring whatever glory they have. They're gonna bring to the gates to give to us. They gonna bring their daughters. Say, look, you need to go get an Israelite man. They running the earth. So we gonna get praise and fame in every land anyways. We just gotta be patient. We gotta wait upon the Lord, man. It says, at that time will I bring you again, even in the time that I will gather you. I will make you a name and a praise among all people of earth when I turn back your captivity before the eyes of say the Lord. He's gonna make us a name, Yasharallah, which is Israel. He says, and praise among all the people on the earth. They're gonna man the Lord's elect, the Yasharallah, those are the people, right? But he says, I will gather you. Why would he gather us? Because we were scattered, which goes into the topic of this. We were scattered. That's why he would gather us. Real quick precept, just to kind of beat that home real quick. This is Isaiah 13. Real quick, Isaiah 13, verse 12. It says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedges of Ophir. The Lord said he gonna make a man more precious than fine gold. That means if you had gold stacked up to the sky, Israelite, especially an Israelite man, the elect, we're gonna be more precious and more valuable than that. Because we're gonna have all that. We just gotta wait, you know. But he's coming, but the Israelites were scattered. He's coming to get his elect that was scattered abroad, you know. Jumping back to Zechariah 7, get back on topic there. Okay, get that one. This is Zechariah chapter 7. The minor prophets, 12. Zechariah chapter 7. I like to start at verse 11. It says, and then, hold on, I got to say this real quick too. These women don't understand what we doing and what we are. They so selfish to think that you can have a man all to yourself. You go to the Africans, they women accept them having multiple wives. You go to Saudi Arabia, the Middle East, they women accept them having multiple wives. You go to China, they women accept them have multiple wives. You go to Mexico, they women accept them having multiple wives. But our so-called women think that they so on our level and they think so little of us that we can't have multiple wives. We're going to have multiple wives in the kingdom regardless, man.
They want us to bow down to them.
They want us to bow down to them. Anywhere else you go out on earth, the women bow down to their men, but they want us to bow down to them and get under them. The Lord said he's going to make a man more precious than fine gold, man. What do you think is going to happen when the Lord make a man more precious than fine gold? You women are going to have to share. Says he going to get us praise and fame in every land. Y'all do it anyways. If Drake was to come, every woman in Springfield, Illinois would share him if they could. Chris Brown was to come, all y'all would share him. Why? Because they have praise and they have fame. But the Lord said he gonna get us that praise and that fame. That praise and that fame gonna be taken from them if they don't repent. And we gonna get that praise and that fame. So why not get us now? You might as well come get the man of the Lord right now. Roll the dice, make a good decision. Why not come get us now so you can already have a place? And it tells you that in, if you jump back, hold up, to you already got the, yes, stay there. I'm gonna have you start at verse 11. But this is Isaiah 4:1. It says, in that day, the end times, 7 women should take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. You know how you kind of got to take them out to eat? You got to take them to Ruth Chris, $500, steak and stuff like that. They said they would eat their own bread. They gonna say, look, we can do all that ourselves and go even further. And we're our own apparel. You know, you gotta take them to the Galleria. You live in Atlanta, you gotta take them to Lenox Mall. Get them some red bottoms, $500, Coach purses, Gucci purses. They said we are wear our own apparel, right? It says 7 women should take hold of one man. It says, only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Reproach means disgrace, and take away their disgrace. They said, look, we do all this stuff for ourselves. 7 women should take hold of one man. Just let us be called by thy name. Let them be your wives. You know, your wife is called by your name. I'm Kadash. Good, that's Kadash. The Kadash family. You see what I'm saying? Like, they said, let us just be called by your name, meaning let us be your wives. 7 women. When they take hold of this one man, what do you think they're going to do? He's going to pop him. And how do you take away a woman's disgrace? 2 ways. Her being married. That's why you see in the world, if a woman is not married in some other countries, they're kind of like frowned down on. Like, you ain't got no husband. You see what I'm saying? So that takes away a woman's disgrace by her being married. And what's marriage in the Bible? Sex is marriage. Her getting popped. And children. You ain't got no children? You see what I'm saying? So that takes away her disgrace. You know, just to break that down real quick, you could go ahead and pull that. Let me see if I can.
7:11.
Yeah, keep going.
Zechariah chapter 7, verse 11. But they refused to hearken and pulled away the shoulder and stopped their ears, that they should not hear. Yeah, they made their hearts as an adamant stone.
Break down that first one. Break down that first one.
But they refused to hearken and pulled away the shoulder and stopped their ears, that they should not hear. Yeah, they refused to hearken to the words, the law, statutes, and commandments of the things that the Lord is asking us to do. Turn away from their wicked ways and their worldly wants and needs, and you know, and get into this truth, you know, that they should be saved. But
yeah, and
a lot of people refuse to do that.
Yep, and our people are stiff-necked. They close their ears. You know, when you try to break down this truth, which I'm sure you have, try to break down this truth to somebody, they don't really want to hear it. Stop talking about it. I don't really believe in that. They don't really want to hear you out, listen to you while you're trying to break it down.
Yeah, they made their hearts as an adamant stone, lest they should hear the law and the words which the Lord of hosts hath sent in his spirit by the former prophets. Therefore came a great wrath from the Lord of hosts.
Yeah, and the former prophets are reincarnated today. Hopefully we be those men. Yeah, same spirit.
They say this is the generation that was with the Lord back when he was
crucified.
You know, yeah, he was spreading the word and everything.
Yep, and an adamant stone is like an unbreakable, impenetrable stone. They made their hearts like that, so the truth, we can't break into their heart. We can't get them the truth. They just want to do what they want to do. They want to get fly. They want to go out here to max, slutty, fight after the girls start fighting, the dudes start fighting, and somebody start shooting. That's what they want to do week after week. Sometimes I don't get it. I be like, man, look, y'all done did that 1,000,000 times. And some of these dudes still be going out there after doing that 1,000,000. You already did that 1,000,000 times. You know ain't nothing gonna come but bad from that. Why? Because when you in that club, it ain't nothing but demons in there. It's a whole bunch of demons jumping from person to person to person to person in there. That's why they like to go out there and do that shit so much. Because demons want to be around in company of other demons. Ain't nothing but demons out there. So you know what's gonna happen to you. You know? But that's what they want to do. Or they want to get a video, shoot a music video, become a rapper, because they think that that's the way. But this is the way. This is the straight way. All that shit gonna be vain, and y'all gonna see all that shit gonna be done away with. And
everybody want notoriety from the world. Everybody want popularity from the world, from their peers, and you know, everybody want to be looked at a certain way from, you know, people that they see on a day-to-day basis. A lot of people just don't believe, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people just
they don't want it from the Lord. But you then got fly, you done did all this shit, you done got some money and shit like that. But when you come to the Lord gonna be like, what have you done for me? The Lord gonna say, okay, I see you was out at the dirty South popping shit. Okay, I see you got some money, you got a car, you popped some woman. What have you done for me? And you gonna sit there with a dumb look on your face like, it tells you Revelations 20, all the men should be judged by their works. The Lord said, what have you done for me? You ain't gonna have shit to say. You ain't did shit. And you can't say that you believe, because what does it mean to believe the Lord? Keep his law, statutes, and commandments. You know?
And this goes, and this verse I'm finna read goes perfect for what you just said. Verse 13. Therefore it has come to pass that as he cried, and they would not hear, so they cried, and I would not hear, saith the Lord of hosts. Yeah, because, you know, it seemed like hard stuff to do that the Lord asking us, but in all naturality, it's really not. You know, and he need us right now to get this word out, to try to help save his people, the scattered, so that way everybody can be saved. But it's gonna come a time, like right now it seems like we're not gonna need him, but it's actually gonna come a time we're gonna need him, and when we cry out to him, he's not gonna hear.
Right, because he's crying out to them right now. How do the Lord cry out to them? By the prophets. That's why I mentioned it. By his men, just like me and him. Me and this brother right here coming out, crying out. The Lord cry out through our mouths. He gives us the understanding, the knowledge, put the Spirit on us. We come out here with the Spirit of the Lord. You say, why are they doing that? Because we have the Spirit of the Lord on us. You can't see it because you ain't got the Spirit of the Lord on you. We come out here and we crying out to the people, breaking it down. That's the way that the Lord is extending his hand, crying out. I was up here by myself, and the Lord had me doing the work. It's like the Lord extended his hand to this brother. Then this brother took the hand of the Lord and came out. Where the rest of y'all at? See what I'm saying? Where the rest of y'all at? But the Lord said, look, when y'all crying out, he ain't gonna hear y'all. Matthew chapter 10 breaks that down too. You deny the Lord. Matter of fact, let me get it since it's a break precept. I know it's still more on that. Let me get this precept real quick. This is let me see, right there. Matthew chapter 10, verse 32. Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, I will confess him also before my Father which is in heaven. But whosoever should deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven. Think not that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. So the Lord is coming back for destruction, man. To put the other nations in slavery and to death, and put Israelites to death, wicked Israelites to death. You know, he said, look, if you deny him, he gonna deny you before the Father. Same thing. If he crying out to you and you don't take his hand right now, when you need him and you start crying out to him, he ain't gonna help you.
But I scattered them with a whirlwind among all the nations whom they knew not. Thus the land was desolate after them, that no man passed through nor returned, for they laid the pleasant land desolate.
Right. So back on topic, it's not that anybody, any nation could be saved. It's that the Israelites that were scattered in every nation could be saved. Like it just said, it says, I scattered them to every nation. The Lord said he scattered them. But it's going to look like all nations are being saved because, like I said, the mixing and stuff, we start looking like these other nations. But the Lord said he going to save the Israelites. Meaning you have to be, the Israel blood have to be in you through your father. You have to come through that seed, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You see what I'm saying? So it's for the scattered Israelites to be saved. This is jumping back to, let me see, Deuteronomy 28, verse 64. It says, and the Lord will scatter thee among all people. What does that mean? That means we're scattered throughout the whole earth. It says, from one end of the earth even into the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So when we came here, we start serving Jesus Christ. What the fuck is Jesus Christ? Jesus Christ have an image. Our fathers, man, stop the cap, man. You know damn well our fathers wasn't bowing down to no fucking white Edomite Jesus Christ and serving no white Edomite Jesus Christ. We weren't fucking serving St. Claus on fucking Christmas Day. Stop the bullshit, man. We weren't serving no goddamn Easter bunny. You see what I'm saying? On Easter, got our kids out here looking for eggs and shit. And bunnies don't even lay eggs. See what I'm saying? So come on, man. Stop the bullshit. So you have to, being a wise man, you have to be like, look, something just ain't right here. And then you got to wake up to this truth. That's how I came to the truth. Like, man, this shit ain't right. Damn, they did this to us, they did that to us. And then I started seeing videos on the truth, and little by little came into it. And started doing the work, keeping the law, statutes, commandments to the best of my abilities, little by little. You know, it's a working process.
And it's so bad, because once we realized that all of that was bullshit, and, you know, like, still right now to this day, my parents, they still, not to try to go off topic or nothing, but I just wanted to say that, like, kind of lead, like, to what you said. But as far as Easter, Christmas, and all of those, right now that I don't celebrate them holidays and stuff no more, everybody in my family look at me like something wrong with me, because that's what they was taught and that's what they believe.
Yeah.
You know, they actually believe that Jesus was born December 25th.
Yeah. And
so-called Jesus was born December 25th.
And it's wicked.
Yeah.
And it's wicked because Those same ways that we always live when we was taught got us to where we're at. So why wouldn't you applaud a brother if he's trying to do something different? We got to do something different to get different results. We keep doing the same shit, we're going to continue being in the same place. We're on the bad side of the wage gap. When they say wage gap, guess who's on the bad side of it? Our people. Following these other gods and stuff. That's what got us scattered in the first place. And it says they worship wood and stone. You go to Mexico, they got statues of the Pope. They worship the fucking wooden cross. Why would you worship the cross that the Lord was crucified on? That's like if your brother gets ran over by a Ferrari, you gonna worship a Ferrari? You gonna get a Ferrari and pray to the Ferrari? I love Ferraris. Cause he got ran over by a Ferrari. You gonna hate Ferraris. Every time somebody say something about Ferrari, you gonna be like, Lamborghini's better, fuck a Ferrari. You see what I'm saying? So why you gonna go worship the cross when the Lord was crucified? The cross wasn't of the Lord. The cross was the Romans. That was the way that they was putting people to death. There's many people that got put to death on the cross.
That's considered a graven image.
Yeah, the two thieves were put to death on the cross too. That was right next to him. But they're part of the elect because they believed in the Lord at the very end. He said, look, you're going to enter into the kingdom of heaven with me. So why would you worship the cross? The Lord hated the cross. You know how heavy that goddamn cross was? He had to carry it, and then he was hung up there.
Didn't he beg not to get put on there?
He didn't want to get put on there. He told the Lord, because every man, when being in the flesh, man, we only so strong. Every man, you know, pray if you let this be. I'm roughly paraphrasing, but let this cup pass me. I mean, because he knew what he had to go through, but he was talking to the Lord like, man, let this cup pass me if it be. But he already knew he had to go through. The Lord didn't answer him because the Father was like, you got to go through it. He was heavy leading up to those moments. You got to read it. It's deep. He was heavy. He was pacing back and forth. His heart was pounding. He knew that it was about to happen. The Lord put a great sleep on the disciples, so he had to go through it alone. All his disciples were asleep. He had to deal with leading up to that moment. Imagine in the next 5 minutes, you finna get hung on the cross. You finna get crucified. You finna get whipped. You finna get beat until you're unrecognizable. Your face all swollen. You getting whipped. You getting thorns. They kind of kneeing you, kicking you, pulling arms.
They said he got beat worse than Emmett Till. He was
way worse.
Yeah, they said he got beat way worse than Emmett Till.
And then you know in the next 5 minutes they finna come, the Romans. They about to come and they finna hang you on the cross, man. They finna nail you to a cross and you finna sit up there and die slowly. You gotta feel all that pain. Like pulling a gun, getting shot, you dead. You feel a little bit of pain. Maybe if you fight a little bit,
you don't really suffer.
You don't really suffer. The Lord, he had to sit up there for hours and hours at a time, just suffering until he died. Now imagine just suffering until you die.
All that agony, pain, you know. Like,
you see what I'm saying?
God.
Now you can drown, but in the next 5-10 minutes you're gonna be dead. You drown. Ain't no more air. Your lungs are gonna collapse. The water gonna come in. You dead. But the Lord had to sit there and deal with his pain until he died. So I mean, we just like to break that down, man. We got to break that down. But it says, I'll read again. The Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of earth to the other, and there shall thou serve other gods. This happened to the true Israelites. We were scattered. The so-called Negroes, Native Americans, Hispanics, we were scattered amongst all nations. Now the people in the land claiming to be the Jews, when did they ever get scattered throughout all nations? By slavery.
When have they ever been sold?
Right, when were they sold to all other nations on auction blocks through slavery, and then they start worshiping all these other nations' gods?
They're not living in poverty. They own most of this shit around here right now.
They have something called the Iron Dome. Where at the Bible does it say that the Israelites, just the Jews, not the other tribes, will go back to the land and have an Iron Dome that's going to protect them? And billions of dollars sent annually to them by America, Mystery Babylon. It don't say that in the Bible, man. It says we will be in captivity, we will be scattered until the Lord comes to get us. You know, but jump into Deuteronomy 30 because they got something coming for them. Verse 1. It says, it should come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse. The blessing if we keep the law, statutes, commandments. The curse if we don't keep the law, statutes, commandments. In Deuteronomy 28, you read that. It says, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whether the Lord thy God has driven thee. So the Lord has scattered us, driven us through all nations. In Deuteronomy 30, he's talking solely to the Israelites. And this is talking about salvation. It says, and shall return unto the Lord thy God, shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, which is what we're doing, right? We're keeping the law, statutes, commandments, obeying the Lord. It says, thou and thy children with all thy heart and with all thy soul. You know, you get your household in order and you follow the Lord with all your heart and all your soul. You know, you circumcise your heart. It says that then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity, talking about the Israelites, on thee. It says, and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all nations. No, gather all nations. It didn't say gather all nations. It says gather thee from all nations, which goes perfectly into what this camp is about. It's not that all nations could be saved. It's that the thee from all nations could be saved, which are the Israelites. Mostly, really the elect from all nations of Israel. It says, whether the Lord thy God has scattered thee. So there should be no more controversy on who salvation is for. Deuteronomy 30 is telling you exactly who salvation is for. The Israelites only that have been scattered amongst all nations. That's why we were being called Greeks. That's why we were being called Gentiles, because we were scattered amongst these nations. 2 Maccabees 6 says that we couldn't even call ourselves Jews anymore. So if we couldn't call ourselves Jews, what were we calling ourselves? The other nations. Just like today you have blacks calling, which are Israelites from the tribe of Judah, calling themselves Americans. They're not calling themselves Jews or Israelites. They're calling themselves Americans, African Americans. It's the same thing. Because during slavery, what happened? Kuta Kinte. Our names, our language was beat out of us. No, you can't speak Hebrew. No, you can't have a Hebrew name. Take my last name, the last name of a master. I did a video on the slave names. Go check it out.
Yeah, that's why you see so many people with the same last name. Like my last name Perkins. I know a few white people with the last name Perkins. I know a few, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, everybody got the same last name.
That means that his people were enslaved under those Edomite people, forefathers. His forefathers was enslaved under their forefathers at some point in time. That's how they got the same name. My last name, Sanders, I had a principal when we used to go to school, his name was Sanders. And then every time I come in the office, you know, the ladies be like, oh, yes, Sanders, he got your last name. And he'd kind of always look at me like, you know, good boy. You see what I'm saying? Like I belong to him.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why we put off that shit. We come into the truth, we get Hebrew names. We go back to the old ways of our fathers, you know, of our forefathers. We got our Hebrew names. Now to keep it going, it says, if any of thou be driven out to the utmost course of heaven, from thence will the Lord thy God gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. So it don't matter where we are on earth, we could be on islands. If you the elect, the Lord gonna come get you. You could be on the motherfucking space station. If you the elect, he gonna come get you off the space station, man. You could be in the Niagara Falls. You could be in the Sahara Desert. The Lord, if you be a part of the elect, he gonna come get you. You know? It says, and the Lord thy God will bring thee, the thee is talking about Israel, into the land which thy fathers possessed. The land is for the Israelites. This ain't talking about all other nations. And thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good, and multiply thee above thy fathers. And the Lord thy God will circumcise thy heart in the heart of thy seed. It's all about the seed. You have to come from the seed, you know, of Israel, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. To love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. When the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee and persecute thee. So is the Lord gonna come back and save Edomites with us? No, he said he gonna take the curses that's on us right now, being in the ghettos, being at the bottom, being unsuccessful, you know, being the scums of the earth. He said he gonna take those curses off of us. He gonna put those curses on them. He didn't say he gonna save them with us. He said he gonna save us and put the curses on them. Leaving our households who out on our fathers, they gonna have that. They gonna have those curses on them. An evil eye towards your brother. Look at Max. That's a perfect example. All the shit that happened to Max over the weekend, the Dirty South over the weekend, that's a perfect example of having an evil eye towards your brother. The Lord said he gonna take that curse off of us. We gonna love our brothers. And he gonna put the curses on them. So in the kingdom, the Edomites, they gonna have evil eyes towards the other Edomites. They gonna be in poverty, in slavery, have their heritage stripped from them. You see what I'm saying?
Take our last name.
But they gonna be put to death. They women gonna take our last name, the women that we choose to make wives. Because that's in the law, Deuteronomy 21. Whenever two nations go to war, if we win, then we can take, once we put they men, we put all the men to death, and then we can take the woman and popped them and made them more wives. The only difference between
That's how
them,
you spreading our seed.
yeah, and the only difference between those type of wives, the other nation wives and Israelite wives, is we have a commitment to the Israelite wives. We can't put them away unless they commit adultery on us. But the other nation wives, we just feel like putting them away. We could let them go. You know, that's in the law. That's in our law. If you didn't know, you could go ahead on Matthew 15.
What verse again?
Start from verse 20.
Matthew 15, verse 21. Then Jesus went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Sidon. And behold,